power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom.
The power of the heart.
Finding the power of the
Finding the
heart.
power of the heart.
The power of
Power
the
of the heart. Power of the heart.
让我们寻回心的力量。The
Power
power
of
of
the heart.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yuru Chao. You are tuning in to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. Each weekend, in many cities around the world, thousands of students attend their local Tzu Chi Academy. The humanistic education that Tzu Chi offers at these academies is focused not simply on Chinese learning, which most traditional Chinese schools provide, but also on character education through activities such as storytelling with Jingsi aphorism, tea ceremony, environmental protection exercises, and so on. Many parents choose Tzu Chi Academy because of this character education. Using Jingsi aphorism teaching model developed by the Taiwan Tzu Chi Teacher Association, curriculum puts emphasis on manner, character, and life education. Teachers bring the concept to life through storytelling and inspire their students to live their lives with such values and character. The purpose of such education is to foster a vision in children and develop good guiding character. Dharma Master Cheng Yen taught us that in order to start a cycle of love, we should treat children with sincerity, so children will respond with sincerity, said a teacher of Tzu Chi Academy. Teachers are often the ones who gain the most by delivering Jingsi aphorism lessons. Miss Zhu, a teacher from Irvine Tzu Chi Academy, who also holds a doctorate in chemical engineering, said with a smile that she used to be tough and aggressive in business. When she shouted in her office on the third floor, people on the ground floor could hear her clearly. But she has changed dramatically after 7 years of teaching at Tzu Chi Academy, since she realized that the most memorable thing in life, it is not our success, but rather our morals and conduct. Master Cheng Yen encourages teachers from early childhood education to elementary school to educate children to be polite and respectful, be able to take care of themselves, and willing to share chores in addition to pass on basic knowledge. Moving up to middle school and high school, teachers' responsibilities are to teach students to be responsible for themselves without overly relying on their parents. Volunteers at Tzu Chi Academies throughout the United States use every opportunity to educate children about the importance of compassion and proper value. Since 2008, Tzu Chi Academies around the U.S. have collected books, backpacks, stationery, and stuffed animals to donate to children in South Africa, where Tzu Chi has built 7 elementary schools and 3 kindergartens. Volunteers also encourage students to write letters to the African children receiving these donations, so that students can share their joy and compassion with those who need help. The children in South Africa are very thankful for these gifts. Their once empty libraries are now filled with more than 70,000 books, 40,000 school supplies, and even 6,000 toys. They reply with their own thank you cards with messages like, "Thank you, Tzu Chi friends," and "I send you my love." Receiving these thank you cards, the U.S. children learn that even something that seems insignificant to them can mean the world to someone else. So they begin to understand hardship and suffering in our world, as well as to appreciate what they have. They also learn that by helping others, we create great joy for ourselves. Ms. Paulina Lun, CEO of the U.S. Tzu Chi Education Mission, believes that adults should correct their own behaviors in order to be children's role models. 2 mothers from California, Mrs. Yang from San Jose and Mrs. Lin from San Dimas have demonstrated this by taking action to be their children's role models. Mrs. Yang has been a Tzu Chi volunteer for more than a decade. One year, she and her husband left the engineering field to open a pizzeria. Following the Jingsi aphorism, when we are capable, we should do good deeds, they created 3 delicious vegetarian pizzas and vowed to donate 1/3 of the revenue from orders made by Tzu Chi volunteers back to Tzu Chi Foundation. She enrolled her daughter in Tzu Chi Academy when her daughter turned 4. In December 2012, to help the victim of Hurricane Sandy, Mrs. Yang contacted parents of her daughter's classmates and donated all the proceeds from their pizza orders to Tzu Chi. For Mrs. Lin, she transferred her daughter's birthday party into a charity fundraising party to support victims of Hurricane Sandy. Mrs. Lin and her daughter carefully designed an invitation that asked invitees to bring a donation instead of a gift. More than 70 people attended, bringing a total of $850 in donations. These actions even inspired one of the guests to hold a charity fundraising party for her child's birthday party as well. Through their actions, Mrs. Yang and Mrs. Lin deliver an important message to their children. One of the most valuable things we can do is to help others. Even though Tzu Chi Academy classes are held just once a week, through the collaboration of teachers and parents, seeds of compassion are planted in the next generation for the benefit of all humanity. Hopefully, our children will know right from wrong and steer clear of unwholesome wants and desire in their life to live a more meaningful life. In our program today, we will begin with a reading of Dharma Master Cheng Yen's teaching about awareness of the power of repentance. To turn things around, we need to know about desire's pivotal role. This reading is provided by Dharma Master Deling. Then, after a short break, we'll discuss this teaching with Ms. Chao Wen Huang.
Angels in blue, crossing horizons. My timeless wish is to fly with you. Always, always, every location. I long to live life like you do. Shines moonlight, lighting my path home. Great blue seas and mountains between you and me. My heart lights with your glow, beaming the spirit of hope. Marching journeys past plain hills and trees, I'll find my true mission in life. Lonely and worn I know I may be, I still cherish this calling. Blue seas and mountains between you and me.
listening to The Power of the Heart on Da'ai Radio.
The Power of the Heart, Part 4, To Turn Things Around, The Power of Repentance. Today we will be listening to the teaching on Desire's Pivotal Role. I often say that life is like a play, and this play revolves around one theme, want and desire. Desire shapes and controls our entire life. In pursuit of our desires, we often give rise to unwholesome thoughts and do the wrong thing, which in turn makes our life miserable. Desire is one of the greatest causes of our downfall. Our desires are like a bottomless pit. We are always seeking, never satisfied. This plays out in all aspects of our life. When eating, we not only eat to sustain our bodies and appease our hunger, we want to eat good-tasting food. For our home, it is not enough to have a modest home that shelters us from the elements. We desire comfortable surroundings. The bigger and more luxurious, the better. This is the nature of desire. All our life, we work hard to fulfill our desires. We seek happiness, but for the majority of us, we think happiness comes with having more wealth, more success, more power, more fame, and so on. We never feel that what we have is enough. One dream fulfilled spawns another. Instead of being content with an ordinary, simple life, our vanity causes us to want more grandeur, glory, or power. Our ambitions become endless. The sky is the limit. The truth is, more is not necessarily better, and it can have adverse effects. In our endless pursuit of our desires, we actually create many afflictions for ourselves. But what do we really come into the world for? What is life really about? Only by turning toward the Dharma can we begin to understand life's true value and purpose. Then we can be content. We can get perspective and see things in their positive light. A sense of gratitude will fill our hearts. If we don't turn toward the Dharma, however, we will continue to chase after our desires. We will toil away our entire lives in this pursuit, missing life's true purpose. With the arising of greed, our afflictions of anger, ignorance, arrogance, and doubt will also arise. As we pursue our desires, we take many unwholesome actions or do wrong things. In the course of this, we create a lot of negative karma. Having created negative karma, we will reap its consequences. Negative karma will bring about negative retribution and suffering. The way to escape misfortune and suffering is to understand the law of karma, peacefully accept the retribution for our wrong actions, repent these wrongs, and from henceforth, strive not to create any further negative karma. Prior to learning the Dharma, we were led around by our desires, creating negative karma and reaping its retribution. But when we understand the law of karma and life's true purpose, we will make use of our life in a way that fulfills its greatest value. We will contribute to the greater good. In the process, we develop wisdom and insight, which can enable us to be happy and at peace, no matter what our external conditions are.
Hello everyone, my name is Chaowen Huang. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, United States. My favorite Jingsi aphorism is, if it's the right thing, just do it. This teaching from Master Zheng Yan helps me to make a lot of important decisions in my life. I'm the type of person consider an issue from many different angles before I make this decision. So a lot of times I use this Jingsi aphorism to kind of, give myself a push. So may wisdom and inspiration be with you always.
Your
You are listening to The Power of the Heart.
Our special guest today is Ms. Zhao Wen Huang. She volunteers at Administration Department of Tzu Chi Academy Atlanta, Georgia branch. She likes to read, she likes to run, and baking is her favorite pastime activity. She likes to bake especially country bread. And for her job, she is a financial planner who helps people to know the big picture about their financial situation and make wise investment decision accordingly. Welcome to the program, Zhao Wen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
With your busy work, you still find time to volunteer. How is that possible? And is there a special reason why you choose to volunteer?
I guess my parents, my father and mother, always taught us that we need to give back to the community. We're living a pretty comfortable life. We have 2 hands and 2 feet, and we have a roof over our head. We are able to feed ourselves, so that's why we need to do all that we can to give back to the community. As for what special reason I choose to do volunteering, I was mainly looking for just basically different ways that I can utilize my skills. So one of them is I'm bilingual, so I can speak Chinese and English, and so that's one reason I started thinking about maybe I can help teach English. And also I have family members who went through sickness, so that's another area I was interested in.
Is there a special reason why you choose Tzu Chi over any other organization?
When I was young, my mom told us about Tzu Chi. Always know that Zheng Yan Shangren is a great Dharma master, and she does some very great things. So I had that notion growing up, and then afterwards, before college, we know local Tzu Chi sisters who were involved in Tzu Shao, and then in college was in contact with the college Tzu Qing, and then after that was a time. After college was a time when I truly got into Tzu Chi. There was just one day I was just thinking, I want to do something. I want to get into some volunteer work. And my mother suggested, why don't you contact the local Tzu Chi? And she knew the Tzu Chi sisters there. So I was like, okay. So I talked to the local Tzu Chi sisters, and they say, well, we need an English teacher. So why don't you come teach English for us? So that's how I got started.
So it's a very natural process. Just one thing lead to another, and you're meant to be with Tzu Chi. And so you say your mom introduced you to Tzu Chi. Is your mom a Tzu Chi volunteer?
No, she is a Tzu Chi volunteer now, but she wasn't one before. My elementary teacher, my 4th grade teacher, was a Tzu Chi member, Hui Yuan, and she's the one who kind of got everything started. So.
Wow, that is very interesting how an elementary school teacher eventually got you onto this path as a Tzu Chi volunteer, and your mom too.
My teacher got my mom on the boat, and my mom got me on the boat, so to speak.
Are you still in contact with that teacher?
No, after we moved to the United States, we lost contact. So we haven't spoken with her since forever.
And are you a Tzu Chi volunteer, a certified Tzu Chi volunteer right now? Yes. So for how many years have you been participating in Tzu Chi now? You say you started when you were in school, in college, that you kind of get involved with the Tzu Qing activity, and then now you continue with your volunteering work, or you only started more kind of after college?
Well, if we only want to count the years with, I guess, the greater time commitment, that would start with time when I began volunteering as an English teacher, so that would be 5 years ago.
You know about Tzu Chi for a long time, but not so much as a volunteer, just knows about Tzu Chi volunteer in your community, or a Tzu Chi donating member like your teacher and local Tzu Chi activity, but you didn't participate until 5 years ago, after you graduated from school, and then you start working and you decided to give back to the society.
I don't know when I first heard about Tzu Chi. Must be when I was really young.
So Tzu Chi just has been there with you almost like all your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
So being with Tzu Chi and also getting involved with helping people, you probably see a lot of different lives and examples that people live. Have you ever seen people being blinded by their desires and then make wrong choices in life?
I'm sure everyone knows stories of when people they want one house and then they want a bigger house. They want to build an even bigger house, and there it goes. And usually, in the cases I've seen, the people I know personally, usually those decisions did not bring them more happiness, usually bring more troubles. Like, for example, they want a farm, they'll actually go buy a farm. Turns out they don't have time to spend on the farm, so people come by and steal all their equipment and things like that. So it's true that they have a farm, but it doesn't seem like they have time to spend time on the farm, and it doesn't seem like they're getting happiness out of it. It's just giving them more headaches.
And yet they still pursue all these desires, thinking that it was something that's going to bring them happiness.
Actually, in that case, I think after many years, eventually they decided to sell it because, it's just not bringing them any happiness. Yeah.
And let us compare that with the example of Tzu Chi volunteers. You see a lot of people, especially Tzu Chi volunteers, giving of themselves, paying their own expenses to go to Tzu Chi activity and use their time to help people in need. Now, compare that with the example that you shared with us before. Like, which one is more happy? Which one enjoy a more happy life?
Well, I'm inclined to say the Tzu Chi volunteer because I agree with the master saying that being able to give is better than to receive. So, I would definitely say the Tzu Chi volunteer.
And do you see all these Tzu Chi volunteers with a lot of material possession? They're very rich and they're very well off, and that's why they volunteer to spend their spare time?
Well, we have all sorts of people doing Tzu Chi volunteer work. We definitely do have people who are very well off, but then they also give what they can back to the community. We also have Tzu Chi volunteers who are on welfare, and they also give all that they can. And it's a very beautiful thing. Yeah, it's a very beautiful thing to see. And every time I see my fellow Tzu Chi volunteer in Atlanta, I'm reminded of all that I should be grateful for, and all that I should show my appreciation for, and that I need to learn to keep on giving. Yeah, that will definitely help. Or else everybody have very busy life right now, so even retirees have very busy life right now. So even though Tzu Chi have events, it's always a challenge to see, hey, can you come? So definitely we really thank the volunteers who really, make it their priority to come to Tzu Chi events. Really appreciate that.
And that is why they always say it's a Tzu Chi family. It's not a Tzu Chi work or Tzu Chi organization. It's always a Tzu Chi family, because we work together like family and helping each other out whenever we needed to, and together we are a team.
Yeah, that's right. I think you mentioned this earlier. Tzu Chi volunteers, we pay our ways, we pay for our whatever we need. Now, if you make it work, I'm sure a lot of people might not be doing it, so they probably won't be so happy doing it. But I think the Tzu Chi volunteers in my community, we're happy trying to make something happen. We're happy to do a Tzu Chi work. And if you make it work, it won't be the same.
Thank you very much for your time. Our time is up today. We'll be listening to this book over the next several episodes. Please join us next time to continue our discussion on the power of the heart. If you want to read this book we're talking about, you can find a copy of this book in any Jingsi bookstore and cafe. For more teaching from Dharma Master Cheng Yen, please tune in next time to our program. Goodbye and have a great day.
Love's the language of ourselves. Love's out in hearts, not hands alone. Love's our small wish for you to enjoy. We wish you forever peace and joy. Love walks tall while sharing smiles. Love's found in silent gratitude's eyes. Love's giving more than yesterday, believing strong, brave and not afraid. Give love openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Tall while sharing smiles. Love's found in silent gratitude's eyes. Love's giving more than yesterday, believing strong, brave and not afraid. Give love openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. As the sun shines warm light on you and me across every distance. So show our love, dare to dance. Spread love readily, pave the long road ahead tenderly. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Love openly as the sun shines warm light on you and me. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering. Your soothing blessings heal all pain and suffering.